The bright red emergency light flashed across Captain Robert Hayes's face as he stared at the main screen of the U.S. Hyperion. His hands gripped the armrests of his command chair tightly. The distress signal from Proxima B Colony blinked again and again, each flash making his heart beat faster. "Play the message again," he ordered, his voice steadied despite his growing fear. The colony governor's face appeared on screen. Linda Marshall's usually neat brown hair was messy, and smoke filled the background behind her. "This is an emergency broadcast to any Earth forces in range," she coughed, ducking as something exploded nearby. "We are under attack. I repeat, the Proxima B Colony is under attack by alien forces." The bridge crew of the Hyperion watched in silence as Linda's camera turned to show the sky above the colony. Massive ships, dark as storm clouds and shaped like arrowheads, hung in the air. They were firing bright purple beams at the colony's buildings. "They call themselves the Zaxian Empire," Linda continued, her voice shaking. "They appeared 3 hours ago, demanding we surrender our planet. They—" Another explosion rocked her office. "They say we're in their territory, but that's impossible. We've been here for 5 years with no signs of any alien life." Robert leaned forward, watching as the camera showed more details of the attack. The alien ships were each about half a mile long, their hulls covered in what looked like black scales. They moved with amazing speed for their size, dropping smaller fighter craft that swarmed around the colony like angry wasps. "Communications officer, send this to Earth Command right now," Robert ordered, "and get me a direct link to the colony." "Sir," his communications officer, Mary Wilson, called out, "I'm picking up a transmission. It's being broadcast on all frequencies. I think it's from the aliens." A new image appeared on the main screen. The creature looking back at them had gray-blue skin and 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. Its mouth was full of small, sharp teeth. "Attention human vessel," the alien spoke in perfect English. "This is Commander Zextal of the Zaxian Empire. You are witnessing our rightful reclamation of this world. Do not interfere, or you will be destroyed. The Galactic Council has granted us permission to expand our territory. Your primitive species has no standing among the civilized races of the galaxy." Robert stood up, his face red with anger. "This is Captain Robert Hayes of the Earth ship Hyperion. You are attacking innocent civilians. Stop your assault immediately, or—" The alien commander laughed, the sound like grinding metal. "Or what, human? Your ship is less than 1/4 the size of our smallest vessel. You have no weapons that could harm us. Stay back and watch as we teach humanity its proper place in the galaxy." Before Robert could respond, Linda's voice broke through again. "Captain Hayes, I'm sending you detailed scans of their ships and weapons. Our colony's defense systems managed to get good readings before they were destroyed. Get this data back to Earth. They need to know what we're up against. They need to—" The transmission cut off suddenly. On the main screen, they watched as a massive purple beam struck the colony's main administrative building, turning it into a crater. "No," Robert shouted, slamming his fist on his chair's armrest. "Get us closer. Prepare to—" "Sir," his first officer interrupted, "3 Zaxian ships are moving to intercept us. Their weapons are powering up." Robert looked at his crew, at the fear and anger in their eyes. They all wanted to fight, to save the colony, but the Hyperion was just a patrol ship. They didn't stand a chance against these alien warships. "Send everything we have to Earth Command," he ordered, his voice heavy with regret. "All the scans, all the transmissions. Then get us out of here at maximum speed. We need to warn Earth." As the Hyperion turned and engaged its engines, Robert watched the alien ships continuing their attack on the colony. But a small smile formed on his face. The Zaxians, in their arrogance, had made a terrible mistake. They thought they were teaching humanity a lesson. Instead, they had just woken a sleeping giant. In his mind, Robert could already picture the massive shape hidden in the lunar shipyards, The project so secret that even most of Earth's leaders didn't know about it. The Zaxians thought humans were primitive and weak. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. Admiral Susan Cooper stood in the dark meeting room of Earth's United Defense Council, watching the holographic display of the Proxima B attack. The faces around the large table were lit by the blue glow of the projection, showing the worry and anger of Earth's military leaders. The Zaxians destroyed half the colony, she said, her voice firm. 2,000 civilians dead. Another 1,000 taken prisoner. She paused as the hologram showed the alien ships firing on the defenseless buildings. But they made one big mistake. They didn't find our hidden bunker under the colony. She pressed a button, and the image changed to show detailed scans of the Zaxian ships. Governor Marshall managed to get us complete scans of their technology before she. Susan took a deep breath. Before she died protecting our people. An older man at the table raised his hand. How do their ships compare to ours? Their smallest ship could destroy our best destroyer in seconds, Susan replied. She looked around the room, then smiled. But that was exactly what we expected when we started the Prometheus project. The room grew even quieter. Most people thought the Prometheus was just a rumor, a story told to make people feel safer. Susan nodded to a man sitting in the corner. Dr. David Wright stood up, his gray hair messy as usual. He walked to the front of the room, carrying a small black cube. 10 years ago, a small alien ship crashed in the Arizona desert. We kept it secret and learned everything we could from it. But we didn't just copy their technology. He placed the cube on the table. We made it better. The cube lit up, projecting a hologram of a massive ship. Several people gasped at its size. Meet the EDS Prometheus, David said proudly. 8 kilometers long, powered by 3 fusion cores, armed with weapons that combine alien technology with human innovation. He touched the cube, and the image zoomed in to show different parts of the ship. But our greatest achievement is this, the ship's AI core. Susan took over again. We took the alien computer systems and combined them with our own AI research. The result is far beyond anything the aliens have. The Prometheus doesn't just follow orders. It thinks, learns, and adapts. Is it ready? Asked one of the council members. David shook his head. We needed another month to finish testing the. It's ready enough, Susan interrupted. She looked each council member in the eye. Every hour we wait, more of our people suffer. The Zaxians think they can attack us without consequences. They think we're primitive and weak. She pointed at the hologram of the Prometheus. I say we show them how wrong they are. One of the admirals stood up. The Zaxians mentioned a galactic council. If we strike back, we might start a war with more than just one alien race. Susan smiled again. Good. Let them all see what happens when someone attacks Earth. Let them all learn to fear us. The council members looked at each other. Finally, the head of the council spoke. Who will command the Prometheus? Commander John Foster, Susan replied immediately. He's young, but he's the best pilot we have. And more importantly, he thinks differently than our other officers. He doesn't just follow the rulebook. He finds new ways to win. The council voted. The decision was unanimous. Launch the Prometheus. The council had ordered. Save our people and show these aliens that humanity will not be pushed around. As the meeting ended, Susan and David walked to the window. Through it, they could see the moon hanging in the night sky. Will it really work? Susan asked quietly, so only David could hear. David watched the moon, knowing that hidden on its far side, the Prometheus was about to wake up. The ship's AI has already learned more than we expected. Yesterday, it suggested improvements to its own weapon systems that our engineers hadn't even thought of. Should we be worried about that? David shook his head. The AI has one core directive: protect humanity. Everything else comes from that. He smiled. The Zaxians think we're primitive because we're young. They don't understand that being young also means we're not stuck in old ways of thinking. We take new ideas and make them better. Susan nodded, her face determined. Then let's go show the galaxy what humanity can do. Behind them on the hologram table, the image of the Prometheus still glowed, its massive form promising power that the alien races couldn't imagine. Soon, very soon, they would learn to fear the species they had so foolishly attacked. Commander John Foster stood on the bridge of the Prometheus, his heart beating fast as he looked at the massive control room around him. The bridge was larger than a football field, with workstations arranged in circles around the central command platform where he stood. The walls were covered in screens showing every part of the huge ship. "All systems are ready, Commander," said the ship's eye. Its voice was calm and clear, coming from everywhere at once. "Shall we begin the launch sequence?" John took a deep breath. "Show me the crew status." Screens lit up around him. 5,000 crew members were at their stations throughout the ship. Each one had been specially chosen and trained in secret for the past 3 years. They were the best Earth had to offer. "Crew is ready." First Officer William Parker reported from his station. He was a tall man with dark skin and steady hands that moved quickly over his control panel. "Engineering reports all 3 fusion cores are running perfectly." John nodded and pressed the communication button on his chair. "This is Commander Foster to all crew. Today we show the galaxy that humanity is not to be underestimated. Today we save our people and teach the Zaxians a lesson they'll never forget." He paused, looking at the main screen which showed the massive doors of the lunar shipyard slowly opening. "Some of you may be scared. That's okay. But remember, every part of this ship was built by human hands. Every system was designed by human minds. We took alien technology and made it better." The shipyard doors were fully open now, showing the stars beyond. John smiled. "Let's show them what we can do. Begin launch sequence." The Prometheus hummed to life. Lights ran along its 8-kilometer length as systems powered up. The ship was shaped like a sword, long and sleek, with its silver-white hull gleaming in the starlight. In orbit around Earth, astronauts on the space station stopped their work to stare as the massive ship emerged from its hidden dock on the far side of the moon. Many of them had thought the rumors about a super warship were just stories. Now they watched in awe as the Prometheus moved into view, its size making their station look tiny in comparison. "Main engines engaging," the AI announced. Blue fire burst from the ship's engines, each one bigger than the largest buildings on Earth. The Prometheus moved forward smoothly, its advanced gravity systems making sure the crew didn't feel the enormous acceleration. "Weapons check," John ordered. Amy Chen, the science officer, called out readings from her station. "Kinetic cannons online. Nuclear fusion beam weapons ready. Point defense grid at full power." She paused, looking at her screen in surprise. "Sir, the AI has improved the targeting systems again. We're now 40% more accurate than in our last test." John smiled. The AI was learning and growing, just as Dr. Wright had promised. "Shield status. Adaptive shields at maximum power," reported Brian Miller from the tactical station. "The AI suggests we can now absorb hits that would destroy other ships 10 times over." The Prometheus cleared the moon's orbit, and for the first time, its full size was visible from Earth. People using telescopes could see it, a new star moving across the night sky. News spread quickly, and soon millions were watching as humanity's greatest weapon showed itself to the world. "Message from Admiral Cooper," called out Communications Officer Lisa Roberts. She says, "Give them hell." John stood up from his command chair. "Set course for Proxima B. Prepare the wormhole drive." "Sir," William Parker said, "the wormhole drive hasn't been fully tested yet. We don't know if." "We know it works," John interrupted. "The AI has run thousands of simulations, and we don't have time to spend weeks traveling to Proxima B." He looked at the main screen where the stars waited. "Our people have been prisoners for 3 days already. That's 3 days too long. The front of the Prometheus began to glow as the wormhole drive powered up. A point of light appeared in space ahead of them, growing larger and larger until it became a swirling blue tunnel through space itself. "All hands, prepare for wormhole transit," John announced. "Let's go show the Zaxians what happens when they pick a fight with Earth." The Prometheus moved forward, its massive form entering the wormhole. In moments, the largest warship ever built by human hands vanished from Earth's sky, heading toward a battle that would change the galaxy forever. The blue light of the wormhole washed over the bridge of the Prometheus. Science officer Amy Chen watched her instruments with wide eyes as they traveled through space in a way no human had ever done before. "This is amazing," she said, her fingers flying over her control panel. "We're moving faster than we thought possible. The AI has improved the wormhole drive far beyond our original designs." Commander John Foster nodded, watching the swirling tunnel of light on the main screen. "How long until we reach Proxima b?" At this speed, Amy checked her readings again. 3 hours. The Zaxians would take 2 weeks to cover the same distance. The bridge crew worked quietly, monitoring their stations as the massive ship flew through the wormhole. Every few minutes, the AI would announce another system check, its calm voice reassuring them that everything was working perfectly. Suddenly, First Officer William Parker called out from his station. "Sir, I'm picking up signals ahead." "Many signals." "Show me," John ordered. The main screen split to show a tactical display. Dozens of dots appeared, representing ships waiting near Proxima b. 35 Zaxian warships, William reported. "And something else. There's a much larger ship holding position behind them." Amy adjusted her sensors. "It's a Galactic Council observation vessel. They're watching the Zaxians, probably making sure they follow whatever rules the Council set for them." John smiled grimly. "Good. I want them to see what happens next." He pressed a button on his chair. "All hands, battle stations. Prepare for wormhole exit." Red lights flashed throughout the huge ship as crew members rushed to their combat positions. In the weapons control room, Tactical Officer Brian Miller powered up the massive gun batteries that ran along the ship's length. "Aye," John called out. "What's your analysis of the Zaxian fleet?" The AI's voice was calm as ever. "Their ships are arranged in a standard patrol pattern. They are not expecting any resistance. Their weapons are powered down, and their shields are at minimal strength. They think they've already won," Williams said angrily. "They don't know we're coming." "Let's surprise them then," John replied. "Amy, can you bring us out of the wormhole right in the middle of their fleet?" Amy grinned. "Yes, sir. The AI has already calculated the perfect exit point." The next few minutes were tense as final battle preparations were made. The Prometheus's adaptive shields powered up, creating an invisible barrier around the massive ship. Weapon systems hummed to life, ready to show the aliens just how advanced human technology had become. "Wormhole exit in 10 seconds, Amy announced. John stood up from his command chair. "The moment we exit, broadcast on all frequencies. I want them to hear us before they die." The blue tunnel of the wormhole suddenly vanished. The Prometheus burst into normal space right in the middle of the Zaxian fleet. The alien ships looked tiny compared to Earth's warship, like rowboats next to an aircraft carrier. For a moment, nothing happened. The Zaxian ships just floated there, their crews probably trying to understand what they were seeing. The Prometheus was bigger than any warship in known space, its white hull gleaming in the light of Proxima b's sun. "Broadcasting," announced Lisa Roberts from communications. John's voice boomed out across space, reaching every alien ship in the system. "This is Commander John Foster of the Earth defense ship Prometheus. You attacked our colony. You killed our people. You thought we were primitive and weak." He paused. "That was your last mistake." The Zaxian ships finally started to react, their engines flaring as they tried to move away from the massive human vessel. But they were too slow. "Sir," Amy called out, excitement in her voice. The AI just scanned their entire fleet. It says their best weapons can't even scratch our shields. On the main screen, they could see the Galactic Council ship moving closer, its sensors obviously working hard to analyze the Prometheus. Good, John said. Let them scan us. Let them see exactly what humanity is capable of. He looked at his tactical display, where the Zaxian ships were still trying to form up into a battle line. It's time to show the galaxy that humans are not to be underestimated. He sat back in his command chair, his voice hard as steel. Target the nearest Zaxian ship. Let's show them what a real warship can do. The nearest Zaxian ship fired first, its purple energy beams streaking through space toward the Prometheus. Tactical Officer Brian Miller didn't even need to adjust the shields. The alien weapons splashed harmlessly against the massive human warship's defenses. Enemy weapons having no effect, Brian reported, trying to hide his smile. Our shields didn't even drop 1%. Commander John Foster nodded. Show them what real weapons look like. Target their engines only. Let's give them a chance to surrender. Brian's fingers danced across his control panel. The Prometheus's main guns moved slightly, each one larger than the biggest Zaxian ship. Target locked. Fire. A single blast of blue-white energy shot out from the Prometheus. It hit the Zaxian ship's engines perfectly, cutting through their shields like they weren't even there. The alien vessel's lights flickered and died, leaving it drifting helplessly in space. First target disabled, Brian announced. No explosion, no casualties. They're just stuck. The remaining Zaxian ships finally realized the danger they were in. They started firing everything they had at the Prometheus, filling space with purple beams and explosive missiles. Incoming fire from all directions, the AI announced calmly. Activating point defense grid. Thousands of smaller guns along the Prometheus's hull came to life. They fired with perfect accuracy, destroying every missile before it could get close. The energy beams still hit the shields, but they might as well have been throwing rocks at a mountain. Their weapons are useless, Amy Chen called from her science station. The AI says their most powerful shots are weaker than our shield test equipment. John watched as 5 more Zaxian ships tried to sneak behind the Prometheus. Brian, target that group. Let's show them our broadside weapons. The side of the human warship lit up as hundreds of kinetic cannons fired at once. Superheated metal slugs shot through space at near light speed. They smashed through the Zaxian shields and hit their targets with devastating accuracy. All 5 ships lost power instantly, their crews trapped but alive. This isn't even a fight, William Parker said from his station. It's like they're bringing spears to a tank battle. Suddenly, Lisa Roberts spoke up from communications. Sir, I'm picking up a transmission from the colony. The Zaxians are threatening to kill the prisoners. John's face hardened. Security Chief Rachel Torres, prepare your strike teams. Can you get a lock on all Zaxian soldiers in the colony? Affirmative, the AI replied. Their armor contains elements our sensors can easily track. I can target their weapons specifically. Do it. Rachel, get your people ready for atmospheric drop. We're going to end this now. In the Prometheus's massive landing bay, Rachel Torres and her team of 200 soldiers climbed into their drop pods. Unlike the bulky Zaxian armor, human combat suits were sleek and advanced, each one linked directly to the ship's eye. All drop teams ready, Rachel reported. John looked at the tactical display. The remaining Zaxian ships were trying to retreat, but they were too slow. Brian, disable every ship in the system. Rachel, begin your drop on my mark. The Prometheus's weapons fired again and again. Each shot was perfect, each target disabled without being destroyed. In less than 5 minutes, the entire Zaxian fleet was powerless, floating helplessly in space. Colony targeted, the AI announced. I have a lock on every Zaxian weapon and power source on the surface. John leaned forward in his command chair. Execute. Precise beams of energy shot from the Prometheus, striking thousands of points in the colony below. When they stopped, Every Zaxian weapon had been destroyed, their armor suits powerless. "Rachel, go." The drop pods launched, streaming down through the atmosphere like falling stars. They landed perfectly around the colony, and human soldiers poured out, their advanced armor making them look like avenging angels. "Colony secured," Rachel reported just 10 minutes later. "All Zaxian forces have surrendered. No casualties on either side. Our people are safe." On the bridge, the crew cheered. But John wasn't finished. He turned to look at the Galactic Council ship that had watched the whole battle. "Lisa, open a channel to that council ship," he ordered. "Tell them we'll be happy to explain to their council exactly how humanity deals with those who threaten our people." The council ship's only response was to back away slowly from the Prometheus, its sensors still recording everything. Soon, the entire galaxy would see this footage. Soon, everyone would know that humanity was not a species to be trifled with. John smiled. The real diplomacy was about to begin, and Earth was negotiating from a position of unquestionable strength. Ambassador Patricia Moore stood on the bridge of the Prometheus, watching as they approached the massive space station that served as the Galactic Council's headquarters. The station looked like a giant silver wheel spinning slowly in space, with ships from 100 different alien races docked around it. "They're hailing us," Lisa Roberts announced from her communication station. "The Council is demanding we stop at least 10,000 kilometers from the station." Patricia smiled. "They're scared of us." "Good." She turned to Commander John Foster. "Shall we show them some respect and stop here?" John nodded. "We've made our point. Hold position at requested distance." The Prometheus came to a stop, its massive form casting a shadow on nearby ships. Even at this distance, it was clearly the largest vessel near the station. Other ships were quickly moving away from it, like small fish avoiding a shark. "The council chamber is ready for us," Patricia said, straightening her diplomatic uniform. "They've called an emergency session. Every major race in the galaxy will be watching." John stood from his command chair. "Then let's give them a good show. William, you have the bridge. I prepare the holographic records of the battle." Minutes later, Patricia and John rode a shuttle toward the council station. Through the window, they could see thousands of aliens gathered at viewing ports, staring at the human warship. News of what happened at Proxima B had spread fast. The council chamber was huge, with rising tiers of seats holding representatives from over 50 alien species. The Zaxian ambassador sat in a lower tier, his 4 eyes fixed on the floor in shame. At the highest tier sat the 5 elder races, who had ruled space for thousands of years. As Patricia and John walked to the center of the chamber, the room fell silent. Even the elder races leaned forward to look at the humans who had changed the balance of power in a single day. The head counselor, a tall being with silvery skin, spoke first. "The Galactic Council has reviewed the footage from Proxima B. We have questions." Patricia stepped forward. "We have answers, and some questions of our own, like why the Council allowed the Zaxians to attack an innocent human colony." "The Zaxians claim that territory," another council member said. "They said the humans were primitive invaders who—" "Primitive," John interrupted. He pressed a button on his wrist computer. Above them, a huge hologram appeared showing the battle. They all watched as the Prometheus disabled the entire Zaxian fleet without destroying a single ship. "We could have turned those ships to dust," John said quietly. "Instead, we showed mercy. We disabled their weapons, rescued our people, and took prisoners without a single death. Is that what you call primitive?" The chamber erupted in whispers. Several council members were frantically taking notes, while others were making urgent calls on their communication devices. The head counselor raised a hand for silence. "The Prometheus. It is unlike anything we have seen. Its size alone should make it slow and clumsy, yet it moves like a fighter ship. Its weapons and shields are beyond our understanding." Patricia smiled. "Humanity has a saying. Don't judge a book by its cover. You all thought we were new to space, weak, and easy to bully. The Zaxians learned differently." Now you all will too. Is that a threat? A council member asked nervously. No, Patricia replied. It's an invitation. Humanity is ready to join the galactic community. As equals, not as servants or victims. We offer friendship and trade. But she gestured to the hologram, which now showed the Prometheus's massive form. We will defend ourselves if threatened. The council members whispered among themselves again. Finally, the head counselor spoke. Earth's response was measured. You had the power to destroy, yet chose to preserve life. This shows wisdom as well as strength. He stood up. I propose an immediate vote to grant humanity full membership in the Galactic Council, with all rights and protections. The vote was quick and unanimous. No one wanted to risk opposing the species that had just proved itself so powerful. As Patricia signed the membership documents, she heard snippets of conversation from nearby council members. Their ship's AI is more advanced than our best computers. Did you see how fast it created that wormhole? They'd rebuilt alien technology and made it better. What else are they hiding? Patricia caught John's eye and smiled. This was just the beginning. Humanity had earned its place among the stars not just through power, but through showing wisdom and mercy. The galaxy would never be the same. 3 months after the Battle of Proxima B, Captain Robert Hayes stood on the observation deck of the New Earth Defense Station. Through the massive window, he could see 3 ships under construction. Each one was as large as the Prometheus, their half-finished forms gleaming in the sunlight. Impressive, aren't they? Admiral Susan Cooper asked, walking up beside him. The Prometheus was just the beginning. Robert nodded, remembering the helpless feeling he'd had watching the Zaxian attack. That would never happen again. How many ships are we building? 5 now. 10 more planned. Susan smiled. And each one is better than the Prometheus. The AI shared everything it learned during the battle. Below them, on the moon's surface, a new city was growing. Alien ships came and went, bringing traders and diplomats eager to work with Earth. The Prometheus's display of power had earned humanity respect, but it was their show of mercy that had won them real friends among the stars. In his office on Earth, Dr. David Wright was meeting with scientists from 12 different alien races. They all wanted to learn about Earth's AI technology. On his main screen, he could see the Prometheus's AI teaching human and alien students together, sharing knowledge that would benefit everyone. Your AI is amazing, one of the alien scientists said. It doesn't just think, it understands. It cares. David smiled. That's because we didn't just program it to be smart. We taught it to be human. At the Proxima B colony, now rebuilt and 3 times larger than before, Security Chief Rachel Torres was training a mixed group of human and alien soldiers. Her experience leading the rescue mission had made her famous throughout the galaxy. Now, other races wanted to learn Earth's methods of non-lethal combat. Power means nothing without control, she told her students, both human and alien. The Prometheus could have destroyed the Zaxian fleet in seconds. Instead, we chose to save lives. That's real strength. Commander John Foster sat in his office on the Prometheus, reading reports from Earth's new fleet captains. Each had been carefully chosen, not just for their skill, but for their judgment. Earth's warships were the most powerful in known space, which meant their captains had to be the wisest. A message flashed on his screen. Another alien race asking for Earth's help with pirates in their system. Since the Battle of Proxima B, many worlds had turned to humanity for protection. Earth's ships had become peacekeepers, using their overwhelming power to prevent wars rather than start them. Message from the Galactic Council, the AI announced. They're asking for our help designing new safety protocols for wormhole travel. John smiled. 3 months ago, the Council had thought humans were primitive. Now they came to Earth for advice about advanced technology. Send them our research data, he told the AI, and offered to host the next Council meeting here. In the Council chamber, Ambassador Patricia Moore sat in Earth's new seat, right next to the elder races. She watched as the Zaxians, now reformed under new leadership, presented their plan to help develop colonies on empty worlds. "We learned an important lesson," the Zaxian ambassador said. "Strength without wisdom leads to defeat. Humanity showed us a better way." After the meeting, Patricia walked through the station's grand hall. The wall displayed images from recent history. The largest showed the Prometheus emerging from its lunar dock, a moment that had changed the galaxy forever. Below it was a smaller image, the ship's medical teams treating injured Zaxian soldiers after the battle. A young alien child pointed at the pictures. "Why did the humans help the people who attacked them?" she asked her parent. The parent, a tall being with crystal-like skin, answered wisely. "Because humans understand something many of us forgot. True power isn't about destruction. It's about making things better." As the sun set on Earth, Admiral Cooper looked at the latest reports. 50 alien races had signed friendship treaties with Earth. Trade was booming. Human technology was spreading through the galaxy, making life better for countless beings. And Earth's new fleet would make sure no one ever threatened that peace. "We did it right," she said to herself. "We showed them our strength, but also our heart." Above her, the Prometheus floated in orbit, its massive form a reminder to all. Humanity had taken its place among the stars not just as a powerful race, but as a wise one. The galaxy had felt fear at Earth's warship, but they had learned to respect the people who built it. The new era had begun, and humanity was leading the way to a better future for all.